Dear Holocaust survivors, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, how will the Holocaust be remembered in the 21st century? How will the memory of this mass murder be kept alive when the witnesses have disappeared? When the physical traces have faded? According to a report published in 2022 by UNESCO in partnership with the World Jewish Congress, 17% of content on TikTok related to the Holocaust is denial or distortion. This figure rose to 19% on Twitter and peaked at 50% on Telegram. This content stems from anti-Semitic and xenophobic prejudices. It is a threat to democratic values and human rights. This information moves fast, now that everyone can produce and publish their own information. The Holocaust gave rise to the neologism genocide. Unfortunately, there have been other mass killings since that have warranted this label. In fact, the desire to deny our fellow human beings the right to exist seems to be a feature of our shared history. What weapons do we have against this inclination, this capacity for evil? I can think of only one: education. Education to understand our history, to understand our neighbors in their otherness. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the role of institutions to promote education about the Holocaust and to reclaim information in general. As a politician, I well know that this cannot happen without funding. The political class must have the foresight to fund university chairs, museums, information sites with the necessary social media, mediators, and specialists. We cannot fight the surge of disinformation without adequate financial resources. We cannot fight against our own savagery without facts to provide a shield and without an understanding of our impulses and cowardice. We all now know that information is power. Now it's up to us to ensure that it is credible, accessible to all, and backed by reliable, independent sources. The stability of our democracies depends on it, so that the past of the witnesses we hear from today will never be our future. Thank you.
Thank you, National Councillor Musbano. Our third perspective for this evening will be presented by Mr. Laurent Sylvie, the President of CICAD in Geneva. Mr. Sylvie will speak about the planning and building of a memorial site in Geneva.
Dear Holocaust survivors, excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know me, which is most of you, I have the privilege to chair CICAD, a non-profit institution that was created the initiative of all French-speaking Jewish communities and dedicated since 1991 to the fight against anti-Semitism, education against prejudice, and Holocaust education. I feel honored and thankful to be able to address this assembly tonight and on such an important occasion. A couple of years ago, the World Jewish Congress, through its UN representative, Léon Saltiel, floated to us, CICAD, the idea of erecting a Shoah memorial in Geneva. At CICAD, we have decades-long experience in working on this very topic, on undertaking what we call in French le travail de mémoire, remembrance work and studies. We organize survivors' testimonies in classrooms. We travel every year to Auschwitz-Birkenau with over 200 teachers and students for a very emotional and dense study trip. We created and we organized what we call a second generation series of discussions with students, discussions between children of both victims and perpetrators. For over 30 years, CICAD has been at the forefront of a large number of commemorative and educational initiatives in the French-speaking part of Switzerland. And yet, when Léon came to talk to us, I felt dumbfounded. The idea of such a memorial in Geneva never crossed our minds, but it immediately struck us as evident that such a memorial should be built, and it should not be a discrete undertaking, it should be a very public initiative. Geneva is very much a symbolic city. It's home to the second largest Jewish community in Switzerland. It has a larger border with France than it has with the canton of Vaud, a border which witnessed both the intolerable and the heroic during World War II. It is an international city. It is home to the UN and major supranational institutions. And we realized doing our research with a lot of memorials, but none on the shore, at least none on public grounds. Of course, CICAD rallied with the World Jewish Congress around this idea, and we have been since actively involved with the World Jewish Congress in the process of working towards erecting a public Shoah memorial in Geneva, the first of its kind in my region, I believe in most in Switzerland. The city and the canton have both been extremely sympathetic to this project and very active in their participation. A beautiful plot of land has been designated and given by the city and the canton to welcome the memorial in the immediate vicinity of the UN and close to one of Geneva's most celebrated museums. Erecting a public monument is a daunting administrative task, but the goodwill shown by all involved parties has been immensely helpful in clearing hurdles and working towards completion. But after all the bureaucratic, contractual questions come the most difficult and the most intricate. In particular, two questions. What function should a memorial serve? And should it be a work of art? These are all difficult questions, but essential. And once you have land authorizations and hope you're getting the budget, you suddenly feel the weight of the immensity of the task fall on your shoulders. Your responsibility towards the public at large, towards your educational goals, your responsibility towards history, towards your own family exterminated in Auschwitz. A memorial should not only be a reminder of the past. If it pays homage to those who have disappeared, it must talk to the living. If it remembers the past, it must look resolutely at the future. A memorial should be in permanent dialogue between history and future. A memorial must be conceived so that it allows moments of reflection and an opportunity for education. A memorial must both inspire awe and invite you to explore history, educate and fight against the cancer of Holocaust denial. It must itself travel through time and be as relevant in decades as it is today, and it is not an easy endeavor. So, brings us to the other question, should it be a work of art? Or should it just be a simple monument? In Geneva, the steering committee has decided that the memorial must be conceived by an artist with an intimate relationship with the subject. We strongly believe that an artist possesses the ability to create such a place for reflection, homage, remembrance, and education. We believe in the universal language of art, on its ability to transcend and speak to the souls, to create a landmark. We are very conscious of our responsibility in this undertaking, and we feel so proud to work for the completion of Geneva's Shoah Memorial. Thank you.